If it makes you money or brings us happiness, you'll find it right here. This is The Purple Tie Show. Welcome to the show. I'm going to say, before you get a chance to say anything, this show's probably PG-13. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
definitely.
also may not be as long as we normally go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends.
It depends.
So I'm Robert.
I'm Blake.
And welcome to this afternoon show, this evening show, this morning show, whenever you watch it.
Yep.
We record it whenever. So I want to talk about something that come up just today.
Okay.
And
I say okay like I don't know what you're going to talk about. Okay. Begin.
Now that I have your permission, I shall begin. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do that thing.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm a little confused. I thought I knew where this was going, but...
just because you can jump out of a plane without a parachute, you probably shouldn't jump out of a plane with a parachute.
Common sense.
Okay. So just because you can run an ad, Facebook ad, Google ad, there's tons of ads. Ads are everywhere. That's another topic we're going to touch on at some point. Just because you have the ability to run the ad doesn't mean that you should run and manage the ad. We've seen a lot of physicians or office managers or whatever that run boosted posts on Facebook.
Yeah, a lot.
Which
actually
is something that we'll touch on after I want to touch on the main point, and then we'll touch on several other points. So my main point is a doctor hired a kid that worked for a marketing company, and I'm doing the air quotes, marketing company, because there's tons and tons of them.
Well, I don't remember what I was reading the other day, but they were talking about the barrier to entry was so low for marketing agencies these days that literally all you need is a laptop with internet access.
It frustrates me to the point of, if being a doctor was just, you need a lab coat and a stethoscope, and we'd prefer it if you had one of those little tongue depressor thingies. But you can use your finger if you want to.
Yeah. Until
you can afford to buy the tools, right? So that's where the tech industry is, right? Computers, marketing.
Well, at least with computers, you have to know how things go together and how they come apart. Or if you're fixing software, you have to have a little bit of experience. But with marketing, all you need is a silver tongue.
Yeah, and a laptop. You don't even need a laptop. So I'm waiting for someone to bust out of the closet and be like, well, I've been using the library computers to run all my ads.
It's doable.
It's
100% doable.
I mean, or hey.
I remember, and I don't think it was an advertising agency, but it was something similar. There was a guy using the Apple computers at the local Apple store to run his business.
Yeah.
He was doing all of the phone calls from his cell phone, and then anything that he needed to do that required a laptop or something, he would just go to his local Apple store and use their computers because they're all hooked up to the internet. Yeah. They're not locked down or anything. So he just...
So I could see, business centers and hotels and things there's the barrier to get to a computer. You don't have to have a laptop is what I'm saying. You just need access to a computer.
You need access to the internet.
So that frustrates me in and of itself that there's no regulation. There's no real true blue certification.
No standardization.
Standardization. Anyone that's like, oh, you know what? I ran this and it got 3 clicks. I'm a digital marketer. So we talked about this one time before where everyone's a digital marketer.
Yep.
Pisses me off to no end. I appreciate the hustle and the drive and, you know, the the one marketing agency, when the client finally got to us, was like, hey, I think I'm wasting money on this. You guys have been taking care of this one part, but I think I want to consolidate everything to you. Could you take a look at the ads that's been running and just kind of give me some...
We are doing currently SEO for this doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And
we won't mention names.
No, but you
or he or she.
You dove in, you took a look at the doctor's ads.
Mm-hmm. So this person, when I contacted this person, I said, hey, the doctor wants me to have access to the ad campaign. Could you add me as an admin? And they were like, sure. I typically work in, app development and stuff. And I'm not really like, this was a good side hustle. And, I was just hoping to earn a little extra money on it and stuff. So,
now if I remember, they ran ads through the apps. Like that was what they did at the company. But I don't remember exactly. All I remember was that he was in app development. But you logged into the ads.
I did.
And
it was a disaster.
We
there's no way to sugarcoat this.
We dug through these ads. I'm putting this off because it's just like
there's no way to sugarcoat it.
Well, yeah.
Anal bleaching. I ripped the Band-Aid plumb off.
So tell the good people what they were trying to rank for.
Gosh, I really don't want to get this far in detail, but I guess
you kind of have to explain anal bleaching.
We work with lots of dentists.
Yes.
We work with some cosmetic dentists, some implant dentists. We work with a lot of dentists. And the dude was trying to get the ad to show up for teeth whitening.
Right.
That was obvious. The issue...
Please tell me how we get from teeth whitening to anal bleaching.
Oh, and anal whitening. That was another one.
That's
anal whitening.
4. I'm going to keep a rolling count of how many times we say 5. Anal.
It's a lot. So...
It just... For the people at home listening... The reason I'm keeping a count is because it happens so many times.
Here's the thing. Anal bleaching. So,
6.
no. So, here's the thing. On ads, just because you can run it doesn't mean you should run it, especially if you don't really understand what you're doing. Because within AdWords, you've got several different types of ad campaigns, and you have several different type of keyword structures. So you have
the two main ones that they messed up on were broad match.
They used broad match instead of phrase match or exact match. So exact match is their search query has to meet this exactly or don't show it.
Right.
Okay. So they literally have to type, who can I get my teeth whitened by near me? Or teeth whitening dentist near me, or something like that.
And it needs to be precisely that. Sometimes even with capitalization in specific spots. Like it has to be exact.
It does. And the phrase match is if it contains this phrase. So the proper way to have done that would have been teeth whitening and make it a phrase match.
Right.
Right? So that if somebody searched for, who does teeth whitening, how do I, get teeth whitening, how do I whiten my teeth? Like there's some terms that I would have used.
Right.
That just wasn't teeth whitening. The issue is when you go broad match, let's say you have teeth whitening and you do a broad match, anything that has either one of those words in this search query, it's going to come up. So if it's teeth, it's going to come up. And if it's whitening, it's going to come up. Bleaching was another, teeth bleaching or teeth, yeah.
Well, no, the problem with broad match is that it also adds in synonyms of those words. So anything that's related to whitening, anything that's related to teeth, like it was bringing up things like teeth implants, toothbrushes, toothpaste.
Best toothpaste, charcoal toothpaste.
But that's because it was like broad match. And the whitening is where it came in, and they got into 7, anal bleaching, 8, anal whitening. But they also had things like skin whitening, skin lightening.
Skin bleaching, which I didn't even know that was a thing.
Hair bleaching. There was something about getting rid of your mustache.
There was something else about getting rid of skin spots with bleaching or something.
Like it was all over the place because they didn't understand what they were doing.
Correct.
But
And
you know what the opposite, what the upside of that is for this person? Makes them look really good. I showed this ad to 60,000 people this week.
60,000 people that were looking for butthole bleaching.
One.
That's but and I see this in all the time. You've got an office manager who's already stressed out, already strapped to the absolute.
We're coming back around. We're bringing it back, baby.
Bringing it back. They're already stressed out. They already have more hats than they can possibly wear in one day. And the doc goes, you know what? You know what's a great idea? Let's run that Facebook stuff. Kind of like Allie tonight when she was like, the YouTubes.
The YouTubes, yeah.
So let's run the Facebooks and run the ad, and let's just boost that post. It was doing good anyway. The post that we made of the dog on the thing, and let's boost that. That is essentially like AdWords Express, which we're not a big fan of. But you literally should take whatever money you're going to spend on the ad, on boosted post. I just did air quotes like no one can see me. So if you're going to spend $100 on it, send that same $100 via check to P.O. Box 2445, Decatur, Alabama 35602.
You're going to get the same amount of use.
I will go look at it. Yeah. I will go look at it. I'll even comment on it.
So the difference between a boosted post and an ad on Facebook is essentially the difference between Ads Express and regular ads on Google.
Correct. Targeting,
exactly. The Express ads is like a shotgun. Just whatever it hits, it hits. Same with the boosted post. Whatever it hits, it hits. Those ads, you can really target. Well, targeting is different on the two platforms, and I didn't really sink in until I was thinking about it tonight. On Google, you've got the keyword aspect of it.
Keywords and zip codes.
On Facebook, you've got the demographics aspect. Ages, sex, location geographically, the
age range. Did you say age range?
I said age, but I also said
income levels.
Race.
You say income levels because now they don't do it as specific as they used to, because used to it'd be like, if they make below $30,000 a year, don't show my ad to them.
Yeah.
Now it's like, do you want to show it to the top 50%, like, and up? Do you want to show it to the top 25%? Like, they make a buttload of money too. And like, who do you want to show that to? So targeting really helps with, delivering the ad to the right people. Where if you boost the post, it just delivers it to, whoever Facebook thinks might be interested in it. Oh, and the people that like your page.
Yeah. And I was wrong about the boosted post, because I was under the impression that it only boosted it to the people that liked your page. And you said that it's the people that like your page and
the friends of the friends and people that have the similar interest and blah, blah, blah.
But bringing it back around once again, you've got this office manager.
We've done a 360.
It's 720 at this point. You've got this office manager that's wearing, 900 different hats at one time, running around, and the doctor comes up and says, I want to run ads on Facebook. Learn how to do that.
Yeah, go do that.
You know what's worse than that? When the doctor decides to take it upon themselves
Oh,
to
man.
go run the ads on whatever. Because we've dealt with that in the past too, where the doctor set up an Ad Express account and was just
blew a ton
my
of
God.
money.
I want to say it was like $700 a day or something.
Well,
like
now
that.
hang on. Now, before we go too far with this, I have a person.
I was about to interject. I'm
struggling.
like,
I was really struggling
the
to
podcast
find
is
the.
still going. I promise.
I'm struggling to find the. I had a person who was bound and determined that I have to run ads and I have to spend $500 a day. I have to do that. And I have to I don't mind spending that because I know if I spend $500 a day, I'll make $600 a day. And I'm like, whoa, hang on, wait. Your math is all kinds of jacked up at this point. Like, you're not making sense. But they were convinced. And I was like, you really need an overall, holistic approach to this. And you really need to work on, organic to build the company over time. And you need ads to build it immediately. And 82% of the people skip the ads. And we're leaving, all these customers, hanging in limbo and on the table, so to speak, money on the table. I hate that term. God, I hate that term. But he was convinced in his head that this was absolutely the best way to spend $500 a day. And I was like, have you seen sushi? Like, if you're going to waste money, let's waste money on something decent.
What I don't understand about business owners that have that mindset, they're going to spend $500 a day. That's what, $15,000 in a month or something like that?
No, I think it's maybe.
So why not spend $1,500, $2,000 a month on SEO and
$15,000 to $2,000 on the ads or whatever. I mean,
and cut it down, because you're spending all this money on these ads and it's just like you're not getting anything from it. I was right, 15,000.
Yay, you did math. So
you guys, this is a big deal.
No. So I just don't feel like a lot of business owners and a lot of, even, doctors and dentists that we work with, they either don't really, they're not business minded people. And that gets me into like my side tangent for this episode is there's some things that, by God, they should teach in school. Like, if I'm going to school...
hang on.
We're
going to come back to this.
I know.
We're going to come back to this.
We're going to come back to it. Maybe another podcast.
So, but now you've got the doctor either running ads themselves, or you've got the doctor making their office manager, who's already running 2/3 of the business, run the ads themselves.
And they don't know how to calculate ROI on it. Because I have a doctor today who sent me an email, and they were like, hey, this is the latest, update from Google, because Google My Business has this
third side tangent of the 15
thing.
minutes.
Oh, it just, God, they make me so mad. They're like, look how good your Google My Business listing got saw by, 42 people, or I think it was like 3,100 something people. And this many people called you, and this many people asked for directions. This many people went to the website, and this was up, and this was down, and this was about the same.
And in the email, the doctor was like, oh, but I only saw this many new patients this month. What gives?
Well, I only saw this many new patients this month, and Google says I'm getting all this stuff. What do you think about this ROI? And I'm like, first of all, that's not your ROI. Second of all, Google's always going to inflate their numbers. The only way to get true, accurate numbers is to have analytics on the back side of the website that tracks individual people as they come to the website. That's the only way.
You really need to have multiple tracking points, because none of them are going to be the same.
We use so many, especially if we're running an ad, like a Facebook ad. I will have a tracking like a tracking domain, right? A URL like Bitly or something like that, that tracks, we got this many clicks. And then when that goes
Let's use Facebook as a platform, right? Facebook tells you, we'll say that you got 15 clicks in a day.
Yeah.
And then you send that link through Bitly so that you get a second tracking
Did I get
point.
15 people through Bitly? I sure did. Well, that was accurate.
Okay, awesome.
Let's go look at the website.
Let's go look at the website. Website says I got 7 visitors to this page. So where did those other 8 people go?
Did they realize it was loading, or maybe it took too long and they just left, or they didn't mean to click in the first place, or like where did those other? Because if they click on Facebook, they're immediately going to get tagged.
Right, but let me rephrase. Google says I got 7 users to that page, but WordPress tracking says that I had 15 sessions.
Right.
So I had 7 people and some came back. Like
new versus returning, like, so you can't take
all Google's going to send you is you got 3,000 impressions on this page and you got 150 sessions and
14 phone calls.
Yeah, and 14 phone calls. Well, yeah, those are the biggest numbers they have for the tracking.
And so you can never take one like tracking. You can never take one tracking protocol and be like, that's the one I'm going to, like, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Because every one of them's flawed. So the law of averages kicks in for me. Like, okay, how many does the WordPress site say we got? Okay. How many does Google say we get? Okay. How much does analytics say we get? Okay. We're going to add them all together, divide them by 3, and that gives us the common denominator, right?
Yep.
And then you're like, okay, so in all actuality, I had 16 people through the website, and I got 4 new clients this month. That's a pretty decent.
25%.
I mean, that's a pretty decent conversion rate.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to, you know, Google AdWords, the client that's like, I have to spend $500 a day on it, which, you know, and I say that, I know I shouldn't, you know, be like, I spend, but it frustrates me, and it's something that isn't logical to me. So I immediately get like, because it doesn't, like, we do this professionally for a living. Like, please just let me voice my concern, and then if you want to do the thing, you can do the thing.
Is this the same client that took away the domain that we were originally using?
Yeah. Had a domain ranked up. It was beautiful. Everything worked great. Had an incredible ROI.
And somehow, some way, someone convinced this company,
it is better if we take this for our marketing efforts on this new thing and let the guy that's, you know, busted his tail to make the actual website work and have a good conversion go start over.
Yeah. I know that was a little confusing for y'all listening at home, and it's really complicated.
Well, we can't really mention who it is and all that stuff.
What it ends up, what the easiest way to describe it is, a larger marketing company came in and took the domain that we were ranking, and we were ranking really well.
Really well. Getting tons of contacts through it.
But they came in and convinced the business owner that they needed that domain instead of starting a new domain, because they knew just like we did. Starting a new domain is suicide.
And I told the business owners, like, you can do what you want to, but
if you want to continue using us and using our
method, like, we can't just give up this domain and roll over.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, you know, this is, I understand we're starting over, and, you know, I will work with you. I know it's going to take time and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it's not an overnight thing to start over. And then 15 days later, they were like, well, why doesn't this do the thing? Yeah, well, you started over, man.
And then they dropped us for many, many months.
Yes. And then come back and was like, you were right.
Yeah. Did you realize that this was... Yes.
Did you realize you were right? I did. I absolutely realized that I was right.
So let's go back to your side tangent, because we've sort of run this course. Basically, what we're saying is, don't make some...
Well, now hang on. Before we get off onto the side tangent that you want to get off on,
What was the one you wanted to get off on? I'm going to bring it back around.
I know.
Go
So,
ahead.
but if okay,
I just wanted to summarize what we have been talking about this whole time.
it frustrates me, and not from a you should listen to me and you should pay me money standpoint. Like, for God's sakes, ask for help. Like, I don't even care if you give me money. Just stop throwing money at a multi-billion, trillion, bajillion dollar company like Google, because you're basically just wadding up, a giant softball sized wad of cash and throwing it at them because they know best. Like, they don't care. They're a quadrillion dollar company. They don't care about your, $500 a day ad spend.
Yeah.
That's pennies.
Well, I will say this.
Very frustrating.
I will say this about the $500 a day. We've been contacted by their Google rep, because they have a Google rep assigned to them. Mm-hmm. Because their ad account had been going through some weird stuff, and we were still listed as one of the contacts. And they'd call and they'd be like, "Hey, what's going on with this thing?" That never happened if none of the accounts that I've ever started that don't spend near $500 a day have ever had a Google account rep, ever.
Well, and they've never, reached out and been like, "Hey, listen, we saw this weird thing going on."
Yeah.
And it's like, "Hey, man, I don't manage that account anymore." And then 3 months later, they're like, "Hey, we were wrong.
Yeah.
Can you manage that?" And so it's very frustrating for that point.
So that's frustrating for a different reason, right?
Yes.
We originally started talking about how someone in the business shouldn't take over doing advertising simply because it's a lot more complicated than just sitting down and boosting a post.
Well, so if you're a Facebook ads guy, be a Facebook ads guy. Don't dabble in like SEO and, Google ads and, Groupon ads, and like, I can run all your ads, because you don't understand. Like, I do, you don't do ads.
No.
I do. You do website design.
Yep.
Website maintenance.
Yep.
Like, anything to do with the actual website, that's you. That's you and your team.
I do technical SEO. I do on-page SEO. I do. I think that's about all the SEO stuff that I do. And any ad graphics that you need, I'll do that. And
ad graphics. So, but that's your
that is me.
That's your wheelhouse. That's you and your
wheelhouse.
team's wheelhouse. Me and my team are off-page SEO, link building, doing all the background, like mechanical wheels that make SEO work.
Oh, and you also do the content, but I post the content, or my team does. So.
My team makes the content. Your team actually posts the content with graphics and pictures, and graphics and pictures. See, that's why I don't do it. I'd put graphics and pictures, and then I do Facebook ads. We don't do targeting and all that. Like, we don't do the whole, here's a lead gen form, put in your name and stuff. No, here's the deal. If you want the deal, click the thing, go get the deal. There's no give me your email and all that other stuff. And it works.
Yeah.
It works. Matter of fact, I got an email from a doctor today that we were working with. I said, "Hey, how's this, travel program going?" And the office manager was like, "Holy crap, it's off the chain. I am busier than I want to be. I'll get you the numbers for it next week."
Well, that's an example of an office manager that realized, hey, our ads aren't working. We should really reach out to somebody else to try and help us with that. But, we were talking about
and we started out helping, and now we just run the thing.
We started off talking about the office manager that took on too much. You have access to this Facebook page, and the doctor of the practice says, "Hey, I want to start running ads, and I'm going to make you in charge of it." So, as office manager, you have two choices. One, learn how to do this yourself and give it a go. See if you don't waste some money. Try to get as many people through that ad as possible. Or two, you can delegate.
Yep.
And either hire someone to do it for you, or have someone in an even lower position in the company take on that responsibility, which is also a bad idea.
Yes.
Because this is not something that a doctor's office should have to worry about in-house.
No. Well, and it's also, I mean, I don't go in and be like, hey, y'all, listen, I'm going to give the flu shots today. And they'd be like, you don't know nothing about that. You ain't, no, you're on the wrong side of the counter.
Yeah.
Right? And so I could totally do it. Right? You don't have to be in a vein, or it's just in the fat, squeeze the thing, you're good to go. I probably run off some patients, but hey, I could do it. Yeah. I think I could totally give flu shots.
I was sitting here thinking, I was trying to figure out if I've ever seen a company where multiple people did the same job, but it wasn't their main job. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I remember we used to work for this awesome dentist's office, and they cross-trained every employee.
Just in case.
To be an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case. Even the front office managers. But you know what they never cross-trained for? They never cross-trained for billing. Only one person in that office knew how to do billing.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because it's complicated. It is detailed.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know exactly what you're doing to do the billing for a medical office.
And here's the thing, and I've said this time and time again, the entire process, Facebook ads, SEO, Google ads, it's not hard. It's tedious.
Yes.
And time consuming. There's a lot of little bitty moving parts. If you know how the moving parts go together, it's fairly straightforward and simple.
Well,
for me,
that's not really fair. I mean, the first time
I'm sure a tooth extraction's just absolutely pleasant for Dr. Barnes. I mean,
yeah,
you know.
Well, not anymore. He retired. He ain't doing that no more.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But see,
gotta miss Dr. Barnes.
Me too. You say that it's easy if you know all the moving parts. The first time I logged into Ads Manager and saw all the buttons, I mean, it was information overload.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for somebody like me who revels in that kind of stuff.
I love charts and datas and graphs and datas and graphs and all
Data's
that.
on the YouTubes.
I love it. I love numbers and graphs and data. And when I was, getting my AdWords certification, it was like, oh my God, what is these buttons? there's so many buttons.
It was complicated.
It was very intimidating.
And most of the time, whenever you go into a specific, we'll say, road of study, like ads, if you've done one, you've kind of done them all. But all of the ad platforms are so different.
Mm-hmm. They each have, so it's kind of like a car. Every car has a window, right?
Right.
Some of them are, I'm going to make fun of you now. Some of them are auto up and auto down. And some of them are only auto down. And then some of them, they got a handle. And you got to crank it. That's the same way with the ads, right? Like the ads, they've all got the same window.
Yeah.
But the mechanics behind it is always different. And they're always changing.
Yeah.
Facebook used to let me target by, I said it earlier. Used to let me target by, like, how much money do you make?
They would give you monetary options, like between 30 and 60,000, 60 to 90.
It was, I think it was $10,000 increments.
Yeah.
It was like anything below 19,000, and then it was 19,000 to 19,100 to 21 to 19,000 to
whatever
20,000 and 21 to.
But it was actually monetary values.
Now it's just like percentages. Used to let you target by specific business owners.
Yeah. With
specific political views.
Oh, interesting. I didn't realize that.
They now have taken that out.
Well, that's because the elections this year, and they're trying to cut down on political advertising.
Yeah, which makes no sense. They should get them for all they're worth. The other thing that they used to do, now if you're running anything that has anything to do with mortgages or credits or borrowing money or anything that, it's a special interest ad, and you got to hop through an entire new level of, hurdles. Yeah. So if it's care credit, if it's hey, we do breast augmentation and we offer care credit, and here's the, all of a sudden you got to do this whole special thing.
Hang on. First of all, no, that combination of things would never happen. No, not.
I'm gonna check the time on this. You're getting a little rowdy.
No, that's. So the only way that breast augmentation would ever do anything to do with care credit was if it was a life-saving surgery. Like it was necessary.
No, care credit will cover like some weird stuff.
I thought care credit was only for emergency things like, tooth extractions.
No, because we have friends of ours that uses care credit to take care of animals.
But that's a veterinary visit. That's different.
I'm pretty sure. Now, I know you can get, who's it through? One of our surgeons offers certain surgeries through, I think it's Propel or Lending Club. Like, there's a bunch of them that will, that'll give you.
I can't make a sound for the face that I'm making right now.
You don't get into it that much. That's why I was like, don't talk about care credit because you don't know nothing. I don't think you know enough about it.
I design websites.
You do, and you do a great job.
Technical SEO.
You do so good.
All right, so let's side tangent for just a second to close out this episode because I feel like we're sort of retreading.
I think we should. I think we could talk about this. I could talk about this for days.
So what you were going to say earlier was there are certain things that should be taught in high school that are not taught in high school.
Not even high school. Like, granted, basic stuff should be taught in high school, right? How to balance a checkbook, how to do a debit card, how to do, financial stuff, how to get a loan, how to, what your credit thing is all about, and how not to jack it up when you're young and stupid. But when you go to college to become like a plastic surgeon, a vet, a dentist, a whatever, why not teach you some basic business knowledge? Like there's a doctor, and I will call her by name because she's amazing, Dr. Una. Mm-hmm. We met her through Southern Medical Association. Yep. She has a podcast that's all about being an entrepreneur in the medical space because a lot of doctors, they are just that. They're doctors. I am a doctor. I fix this problem. They're not entrepreneurs, right? They're not business-minded people.
Before we ever got into advertising and marketing and web design and stuff like that, whenever we were still doing computer repair and we were doing a lot of corporate stuff, there was a doctor that was just spread so thin because he just didn't realize how much money it took to run the business. He thought that you got patients in, you got to keep the money, and that was that.
Yeah, patient in, patient out.
He didn't take into consideration bills like payroll. Because payroll is a huge, huge expense.
Employee insurance.
Employee benefits. He was in a really fancy office complex up on like the third floor or something, and he had the entire floor. So, that's money. He had all the equipment in the office.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now. Yes.
He's no longer in business, but I still don't feel like I should mention
I'm not going to mention his name either. Great guy. Yeah. But, didn't take into account, all the new equipment and the equipment breaks, and if it's not under warranty, and if it is under warranty, how long does it take it to get fixed? And if it's a procedure that insurance doesn't cover, like how do you make that consultation with the patient? And like, that's the business side of things.
Yeah. Plus, you're not really sure whenever you start business exactly how many employees you're going to need.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were probably 6 people in the front office of this place. And I'm not sure that he needed all of those people. But he also had a ton of nurses. He also had several other doctors that he had brought in that were sort of not really helping the situation.
So that's...
But he didn't realize that because he wasn't...
He wasn't business-minded.
He didn't understand what he was seeing whenever he saw the money side of it.
Well, a lot of doctors don't see the money side. We talked about this earlier today.
That's true.
A lot of docs, we'll take Dr. Barnes, for instance. If you walked up and said, hey, how much money do you have for this? How much money is in the budget for computers? He'd go, no, I don't know. You need to talk to Bonnie.
I got a better... Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Go ask your mama.
Yeah. I got a better one for you. Hey, Doc, I need this tooth extracted. How much does that cost?
Whatever. Go ask Bonnie.
Go ask Bonnie. I don't know.
I don't know
because he doesn't...
That's not his thing.
He may have made the prices whenever they opened the practice 30 years ago or something. But
they've evolved.
They've updated their pricing. They've increased the pricing. And that goes back to, billing, because you've got to learn the insurance side and how to bill and how to do the codes.
Who covers what and what's no longer covered and it's just, that's a lot of headache that I'm glad I'm in the marketing side and don't have to deal with the office side.
That's something that's really technical that goes into the business side of opening a practice. It's not you've got to have insurance on the building. You've got to pay for the electricity that you use. So you need to monitor what's sucking up the most electricity. You got to pay for water. You got to pay for
who's turned the air
garbage.
Conditioner down.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, whenever years and years ago, a couple years ago, we got a electrical bill for Fave Geek that was $700 or $800.
$800.
We were like, what in the heck is going on?
That's gentle. And come to find out, the air conditioning repair people that we won't mention by name because we may have to use them again, had wired something up wrong and it was running the heat and the air at the same time.
Yep. So you turn up one, you turn up the other.
Yeah, it's like, well, here we go.
Yep.
So, but that's a business thing. So that's something that I feel like in college or in medical school, in high school should be the basics. Here's the basics you need to get through life.
Yeah.
You taught me math, teach me how to balance checkbook. Then you get into college. Hey, you're going to go be, an administrative assistant. Cool. Here's how to do this part of the business. Oh, you're going to go be a doctor. Oh, well, you're actually a business owner, so you're going to need to take a business course, right? You don't need an MBA.
Yeah. You don't need to go to business school. You just need a business course.
Right.
And I feel like that's the same thing that they need. You know what I feel like they need in high school? I feel like they need a expectations course.
Yes.
Because you're in high school, you're getting
a
ready
realistic
to go to college.
expectation.
Yes, like a realistic. Course. And the main thing that comes to mind is you've got a lot of people these days that want to be YouTubers or Twitch streamers, right? Viable business
blows
models.
my mind, man. People watching people play go play the video game. Go play the Mario Karts.
Okay, let me blow your mind a little bit more. There is he might be 10 now, who does reviews for toys.
Oh my God, he's a
millionaire. He
millionaire.
makes millions of dollars a year on ad revenue through YouTube. But here's where the expectations come in, right? He's the only 10-year-old or whatever on YouTube that is making that kind of money. He's not the only one that's reviewing toys. He's just the one that got famous doing it. And I was watching another YouTuber that was breaking down his ad revenue the other day. And he said that he had to start supplementing his income because he had converted completely over to YouTube. He quit his day job. He was just doing YouTube.
Oh, that would stress me out.
Well, he was like, I'm making ad money. It's coming in. It's good. It's steady. But then one month it wasn't. And why wasn't it? Why were his views down? His views were the same. Why was his ad money down? But it would fluctuate from $3,000 this month, for example. I don't remember exactly what it was, to $700 the next month. So he had to start supplementing his income by doing affiliate links for, products on Amazon. So he would get a piece of the money that you would spend.
So here's my issue. So here's my issue period with doing stuff like that online, where I'm going to be a YouTuber. I'm going to create a podcast and I'm going to make money on it. And I'm going to, go rank, back in the day in the wild, wild west of Google, you could get a bunch of spammy stuff together, a bunch of spammy links. You could keyword stuff your website, and rank these affiliate links for Amazon. People made millions doing that. And now they were like, oh, that's a problem. Let's change the algorithm.
And now it doesn't work.
So you're talking about, okay, I'm making a living. I'm making a living on YouTube. YouTube is owned by Google. Google is notorious for rolling out systematic updates that they don't tell anyone about. It's not a core update. It's a supplemental update.
And sometimes it's multiple times in a day even.
And all of a sudden the algorithm changes. Now you're making, instead of making $3,000 a day or a month or a week or whatever, you're making, $700.
Over the past couple of years, YouTube has changed the way that it's done ads. So you get more ads in a video, and the actual content creator gets less money per ad.
Yep.
They've
gotten greedy.
They have gotten greedy. The YouTuber community was in an uproar when YouTube Red was first announced years and years ago, because if you paid $10 a month at the time, I don't remember what it is now.
It's like $20 now.
But if you paid $10 a month, you didn't have to watch ads anymore. So that YouTuber just missed out on all that ad revenue. And they just recently, last year, did another algorithm update. So now people that were used to trending on the first page of YouTube, not showing up. Don't know why. And it was because they didn't have people commenting. They didn't have people subscribing. They didn't have people ringing the bell.
And that's now every time that you watch a YouTube video, it's like, hey, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so you're notified whenever I post it.
And leave a comment down below. Let's discuss.
It's like a 10-minute, list of things to do. And now I'm stressed out because I don't know if I'm going to miss one.
It's homework, man.
I mean, I can't do it.
So that was what I was getting towards. It's like, yeah, you want to be a YouTuber, and all you see going into it is, saying funny crap on a video that you're going to post to YouTube. That's not really all that goes into it. That's not really it.
Like, are you using YouTube as a business? Are you a entrepreneur? Are you a business owner? Or are you a one-hit wonder that when it runs out, it's out?
So I'm going to bring up a Twitch streamer that I used to watch that doesn't stream anymore. And whenever his last stream came up, he was explaining why he had started streaming and why he had decided to stop. And he was originally a police officer. And he got injured in the line of duty, and he was not able to walk. So he had to get money somehow. So he started streaming on Twitch because he couldn't go outside. He couldn't do anything physical, and he had an extra computer that he could set up as a streaming machine. So it was accessible. He could just do it. So he set up his equipment. He started streaming. He got 1 viewer, and then 5, and then 10, and then 20, and then 80, and then he was streaming. But in order to get any kind of reliable money, you have to have a certain number of viewers on the channel. So he was doing outreach all the time. He was trying to connect with other streamers so that they could do combination streams where they stream together. He was reaching out to charities because he wanted to do charity streams so that he could get even more people to the channel. And after 2 years or something like that after he had already been to rehab and he was able to walk again and stuff like that, he was like, guys, I got a job and I'm giving this up. And you know what? I am so glad that I'm not going to have this kind of stress in my life. I am going to be working probably 80 hours a week, and I'm going to be less stressed than when I was doing streaming full time.
I've heard many YouTubers be like, this is a 80, 90, 100-hour week job because I got to shoot content, then I got to edit content, and then I got to produce more content because I need something every day, or I need something. There's one dude that's like Daily Tech. He comes out with a new video every single day, and it's a production. It's a straight up, he probably has other people working for him. That scares the crap out of me, because if he ever makes a statement where somebody's like, you know, I don't agree with that, and he loses half of his audience, or he loses, a third of his viewers, there's his ad revenue cutting, a third by a third.
Right.
I mean, it's just, that terrifies me, along with the, hey, Google could update the algorithm at any point and you're screwed. Like, you got the visitors, you got the watchers that you got, the viewers you got, but we're not going to really show you as much anymore, so you're probably not going to get much more unless you do this outreach thing. Like, that terrifies me, which kind of brings me full circle to the ad thing. Like, do the research if you are gonna do the thing, whether it's ads or YouTube or podcasting or whatever.
That's a whole
I mean, we could talk about, oh my God, this podcast could literally go for days.
I thought it was going to
at
be
this
a short
point.
one, but it's not.
No, it's not. I could go for another hour.
I probably could too, because you've got the doctors and the office managers that are producing videos to go up on YouTube. They're producing.
I saw a doctor
podcasts.
Just the other day that was doing a video podcast with his other partner of the practice.
Yeah, but that was a production.
And dude, it was a production. They had like multiple cameras and all this stuff. And you know what? I'm gonna say this. I think we should pick this up in part 2 for next week and circle back to this.
Yeah, because we can't.
Like
we're
thought
already
we were
at probably 40 or 50 minutes.
We are at 51 minutes.
Yeah,
to be exact. I mean, guys, we could literally go on, and gals, and we have a lot of docs that listen to this. We have a lot of business owners in general. We have a lot of people that listen to this, and we really do appreciate it. We could go on about this. I'm very passionate about the ads and the different avenues and stuff, so we could go on for that forever.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and update the podcast notes so that we know where we need to pick up for next week.
Yes. If you've enjoyed the contents of this show, find us online anywhere at Purple Tie Guys, purpletieguys.com. Give us a like, subscribe, ring the bell, share, do all this stuff, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, you guys.